the Gulf Screen Guild Theater. The director of the Gulf Theater and your host, Roger Pryor.
Our play tonight, The Enchanted Cottage by Sir Arthur Wing Pinero, is a modern fable in which we meet Helen Hayes as Laura Pennington and Frederick March as Oliver Bashforth. And now, as stage manager, I call for lights, music, curtain. The curtain rises on the living room of a country cottage in England. It's mid-morning, and Mrs. Minette, the housekeeper, is opening the door for some early visitors.
Good morning, Miss Pennington.
Good morning, Mrs. Minette. I brought Major Hillgrove to call on Mr. Bashford.
Mr. Bashford's not down yet. Come in. Oh, may I, sir?
Huh?
Mrs. Minette will take your hat, Major Hillgrove.
Oh, of course. Forgive me, Mrs. Minette, for appearing stupid, but the blind are sometimes socially awkward.
Blind.
The sofa.
I didn't know.
Over here, Major Hillgrove.
Thank you.
How is Mr. Bashford?
Not one of his good days, Miss Pennington. You must be prepared for that. Excuse me, I'll get Miss Bashford.
There you are, Major.
So, that was Mrs. Minette?
Yes.
I say, does she look like a witch?
Well, now you speak of it. Oh, but not like a wicked witch.
Well, the townspeople say that a grandmother was seized by a mob in 1865 and burned for witchcraft.
Oh, well, there's the story, yes, but surely you don't believe in witching.
Well, we blind amuse ourselves with all sorts of odd fancies. And then, who knows?
I think Mr. Bashford's coming. I don't know him very well, so perhaps I'd better wait in the garden.
Oh.
You can call me when you've finished, and I'll take you home.
No, I won't be staying long. Wait here, please.
Well,
Hello.
good morning, Mr. Bashford. This is Major Hillgrove.
How do you do?
You must forgive me for breaking in on you like this. Your housekeeper said you were a bit under the weather.
It's this pain in my head. It'll split on me one of these days.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Have you any phenacetin?
Nothing does it any good.
Oh, do let me get you some. I can go to the druggist and be back in 10 minutes. I'll hurry.
You don't have to.
Kind little person. My man's in bed with influenza. She gave me an arm across the path. I wonder why the plain women of the world are the kindest, Bashford.
How did you know she's plain? You can't see her.
I sensed it. By the way, since we're neighbors, I thought you and I might get together for a talk occasionally.
I took this cottage for the sole purpose of being lonely.
Sick man?
Well, don't I sound like one?
Where were you wounded?
They are gone. August 18.
Where did they get you?
My leg, can't you see? Oh, that's right, you can. Messed up my face with shrapnel, too. But it's my head that pounds and pounds and
You
pounds.
make work right in time.
Oh, for heaven's sake, stop that rot. What about you?
Attack at Beamy, 13th of April. They gave me a permanent eclipse. Good Lord. What time is that?
11.
I had an appointment. I'll miss the chap entirely.
Suppose I lend you Mrs. Minette. She'll take you home. Mrs. Minette,
I would appreciate it.
Yes, Mr. Bashford.
will you help Major Hillgrove across the park?
Of course, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Minette.
I hope you'll forgive my bad manners, Major. Will you come see me again?
How about tomorrow?
I'll look for you, Major.
Good morning. Now, if you'll just warn me of the steps, Mrs. Minette, I think we'll get along famously.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Mother. Yes, hello, Mother. Oh, no, please. Oh, please, let's not discuss that again. I tell you I'm perfectly all right. No, there's no use in your coming down here, Mother. But don't you see, I said, don't you... Hello, you...
Mr. Bashford.
Huh? Oh, Miss Pennington. The Major remembered an appointment, and Mrs. Minette took him home.
Oh, I hurried as fast as I could. Here's the phenacetin.
Thank you. There's water there in the carafe.
Yes. 2 tablets now and 2 more in 3 or 4 hours, if your head still hurts. Now, you must lie down here on the sofa. I'll fix the pillows.
Thank you.
It's best to keep quiet after phenacetin. There. Is that comfortable?
Yes, very.
Well, good morning, Mr. Bashford.
I say, Miss Pennington,
Yes?
hey, I've discovered I shall have to leave this cottage.
Leave? You mean for good?
Yes, hide myself somewhere or other.
But hide from whom?
My people. They won't let me alone. I mean, they will pester me and torment me.
Torment you?
I came down here because they were turning me into a raving lunatic with their meddling. You see, they don't realize that I'm done, I'm finished, I'm washed up.
But, Mr. Bashford, that isn't true. When you've rested and your head's
They
better...
don't realize that I have to avoid people who knew me as I was, healthy, strong, and active. They don't know how I loathe the shriveled face and shrunken carcass.
Mr. Bashford, you mustn't say those things.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be pouring all this out on you.
Oh, it isn't that.
I'm terribly upset. You see, I was just talking to my mother on the telephone before you came in. You know what their latest plan is? They're sending my sister Ethel down here to take care of me.
Won't you like that?
Ethel. We've always fought as long as I can remember. She irritates me. She rubs me raw. I can't stand anymore.
But if she's your sister, Mr. Bashford, I should think...
She's a tyrant. A meddlesome tyrant.
You must relax. Just lie back and close your eyes. There, Mr. Bashford. I hope you won't be angry with me for offering you advice.
Oh, why should I? Everyone gives me advice.
You know, it isn't good for you to live alone. Whether you remain here in this cottage or go somewhere else.
Oh, Mrs. Manette looks after me.
You can't count on Mrs. Manette or any housekeeper. Why don't you fall in with this plan of your people's? Give it a try.
Pain in my head's more than I can stand.
Dreadful that you should have no companion. Nobody to read to you or play cards with you on a wet day. Fill your pipe for you. Chat over the news in the papers in the long evenings.
Oh, I don't mind it. Better than having my family around.
But you're not well. You need someone. Why, often and often, during the rough weather we've been having lately, when the wind has been roaring in my chimney and my fire hissing at the rain, I've pictured you sitting here alone, and I... Oh, they'll be waiting lunch. I really must go.
No, wait. No, don't go yet.
Oh, but I must. You see, it's...
No. You're kind. You're very kind. You wouldn't get on a man's nerves. Strip the very skin off of him.
Goodbye, Mr. Bashford.
Now, look here. I am desperately lonely at times. And you must be, too. We're both in the same boat.
Two misfits, you mean?
Well, something like that. Miss Pennington, I know this may seem a rather startling idea, but why not give up your lodgings and move into my cottage?
Oh, you don't... Oh, you're laughing at me. This is your idea of a joke.
Oh, no, I'm dead serious. Oh, we'd be married first, of course. That would keep my silly mother and sister away. And my stepfather, too.
Oh, it's fantastic. You don't know what you're saying.
What I do?
Oh, if you want to marry and keep your people away, well, there must be dozens of smart, pretty girls in London in your own
Pretty
set.
girls. Those are the kind I can't face. Do I look like an eligible husband for a pretty girl?
Oh, I see.
You see what?
You asked me to marry you, Mr. Bashford. Not only to protect yourself from your family, but because I possess the special qualification of being ugly.
Miss Pennington, I didn't mean to...
Doesn't matter. I think I'd better go.
Miss Pennington, don't go, please. Please.
Oh, how could you? How could you?
Oh, please. I wouldn't have hurt you for the world. What I meant to say was that no woman would marry me except in pity. And the girls in my set, as you call them, are not the sort who devote themselves to an unsightly, neurotic wreck such as I've become. Oh, I am sorry I've hurt you.
Oh, it was stupid of me to be upset. Of course, I know I'm plain, but it's a shock to be told about it so bluntly.
I'd give anything to call it all back.
May I make one suggestion, Mr. Bashford? Ever again you approach an unattractive woman in this way, remember that even unattractive women have their dreams.
Dreams?
Of forgetfulness, of oblivion. Dreams in which they're just as lovely and desirable as the loveliest and the most desirable of their sex. Remember that. And if you can spare them too complete an awakening, it's an act of charity.
Miss Pennington, your name's Laura, isn't it? Laura. Yes, Miss Manette?
The mail, sir?
Leave it there on the table.
Yes, sir. I suppose Miss Pennington is staying to lunch?
Oh, no, I'm just going, Mrs. Manette.
No, you must stay. Now, really, you must.
Oh, no, I can't.
No, please.
Well, all right, if you want me to.
Yes, Miss Pennington will stay, Mrs. Manette.
Yes, sir. I thought she would.
I say, did you see her face when she came in? Wonder if she was listening outside the door.
Why should she?
I don't know, but you know the story. They say she's a witch.
Do you think she's planning to cast some kind of spell?
Oh, no, that's poppycock, of course. Listen,
What is it?
Mrs. Manette. Good Lord, Mrs. Manette's laughing. Well, people may call this a hill, but I say it's a mountain.
Oh, you can't take it. That's what comes of not eating your bread crust when you were little.
Oh, you've got it all wrong. Bread crusts that'll make your hair curly.
Oh.
Here, let's sit down.
Look, you can see the whole countryside from here. There's the river, and there's the crossroads, and there's the church, see?
Hey, Laura,
Yes, Oliver.
Mother phoned again this morning. Ethel's planning to move in on me next week. So I'll have to disappear.
You mean go away?
Must. I've got to.
I'll miss you.
Oh, don't think I won't miss you.
I'll always remember these last 2 weeks.
I shan't forget them. We have had fun.
When will you go?
Tomorrow.
So soon? Oh, no.
Well, I wouldn't have to go at all if you'd marry me. I can't ask you to love me, but we do get along. We could be happy together. Very happy. I need you
Do you, Oliver?
desperately. Be kind. Say yes.
Then yes, Oliver. Yes. Put me down.
Oh, no. Something dreadful would happen if a bride wasn't carried over the threshold. There you are.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, Mrs. Manette.
I didn't mean to frighten you. I'm so happy for you both.
Thank you, Mrs. Manette. And now, if you'll rustle us up some supper,
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, right away.
make it something special, please. I say, it's getting dark, isn't it? Better light the lamp, hmm?
Oliver, did you notice how she looked at us?
Who, Mrs. Manette? Oh, don't bother about her. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? A lamp can...
What's the matter?
Something's happening. I don't know what. Can't you feel it?
Yes. Yes, I can.
It's in the air. It's all about us.
Oliver, I'm frightened. Hold me. Tight, Oliver.
Nothing can hurt you now, darling.
Oliver,
What is it?
when you carried me just now, you didn't limp. You're standing so straight. And they've gone. Your scars. Look there in the mirror. Walk, Oliver. Walk, let me show you.
Wait, Laura, don't move. Stand just as you are.
I can't believe it.
With the light falling on your hair like that. Striking sparks in your eyes. I hadn't realized. But you weren't like this. You've become... Yes, that's it. You've changed.
What is it, dearest?
Oh, Laura, you're beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
And now, in this brief moment before the curtain in the Gulf Theater rises on Act 2 of the Enchanted Cottage, we'd like to send all our neighbors here in America our best wishes for the Thanksgiving season. Each one of us must make up for himself his own list of things to be thankful for, but high on every list will be the fact that all Americans can call each other neighbor. That use of the word neighbor tells us an important fact about our country. It tells us that the miracles of modern communication, especially the family automobile and our coast-to-coast network of good roads, have made neighbors even of families on opposite sides of a continent. Perhaps you drove home to see your folks last Thursday, or possibly you're planning to take a trip in your car sometime soon. Well, just that kind of travel is what helps maintain sympathy and understanding between all Americans. And speaking for the good Gulf dealers along your way and for the Gulf oil companies, let me tell you how proud Gulf is of its share in the work of making automobile travel more convenient and more economical for all alike, in helping to keep all Americans neighbors. And so, the curtain's about to rise on the second act of The Enchanted Cottage, starring Helen Hayes and Frederick March. Lights! Music! Curtain! It's the next evening at the cottage. Oliver and Laura, frightened and incredulous at the spell that's been cast over them, send for their blind friend, Major Hillgrove.
I had my man bring me over as soon as I got your note, Bashforth. Is something wrong?
If you could see us with your eyes, I mean.
We had to talk to someone.
You sound frightened.
You understood from Oliver's letter, didn't you, that something had happened, something out of the common?
Vaguely.
Well, I didn't dare be more explicit in the letter.
You'll never believe us, Oliver.
No one could.
Major Hillgrove, I'm not plain anymore.
She's beautiful. Gloriously beautiful, Hillgrove.
And Oliver, oh, if you could see him.
Laura's growing lovelier and lovelier every day.
And Oliver's stronger and straighter and handsomer.
Don't you hear the difference?
Yes, don't you hear it? Major Hillgrove.
Why, yes, yes.
Oh, I'm frightened. I'm so
You
frightened.
see, we believe. I know you laugh at us, but we believe it's that woman.
Woman?
Mrs. Manette.
You know, my housekeeper.
The witch.
Oh, don't laugh. Don't laugh, please. We believe it. How else could this thing have happened?
Unless we're under some sort of spell, enchantment.
Tell me, Oliver, when did this...
When did the change begin? Yesterday.
On our homecoming.
After the marriage.
Almost as soon as we set foot in this cottage.
Mrs. Manette was waiting at the door to welcome us.
That moment was when the change began, Major Hillgrove.
See, we thought it was some sort of illusion. But in the morning, over the breakfast table, we both saw clearly how we'd changed.
So frightening.
But why? What is there to be alarmed about?
But don't you see, if Mrs. Manette is a witch and our transformation is due to sorcery, well, what she's given she can take away.
Exactly, Hillgrove.
Supposing I offend Mrs. Manette, or Oliver does. It's so easy to offend without meaning to. Oh, you must advise us, Major Hillgrove. What'll we do?
Yes, what?
Well, I do hear this change in you, and I say take the gift and enjoy it without question. Accept it humbly as a heaven-sent miracle, and thank God for it on your bended knees.
A heaven-sent miracle.
Yes. Yes, that's just what it is. A heaven-sent miracle. Bedtime, Laura?
Tomorrow. How I dread it.
Oh, you'll knock Mother and Stepfather right off their feet.
You haven't told them about it. I mean about the change.
Not a word. No, I want them to see. And they shan't see until Major Hillgrove breaks the ice a bit.
I hope your mother and stepfather will like me.
Like you? Oh, darling. You'll be irresistible. Put out that light while I lock up the door, will you?
Oliver.
Hmm?
I want to be married all over again.
Good heavens, what for?
I want to have a grand wedding with a bevy of bridesmaids and a page to carry my train. I want to be married by a bishop, a grave, portly bishop with lawn sleeves and all the rest of it. And I want to wear a dress of ivory satin and a Honiton lace veil and a magnificent pearl necklace, a present from the bridegroom. And I want...
Oh, you're really doing it in style.
Oh.
We'll take it up with Mother and Stepfather tomorrow.
Oh, yes, tomorrow.
Well, you ready to go up?
Yes, darling, ready.
Mr. Smallwood, your son Oliver and his wife have been kind enough to invite me to meet you and Mrs. Smallwood here this afternoon.
I had no idea that my daughter-in-law was having him at home.
Yes, we were under the distinct impression that our visit was to be a family affair.
Purely a family affair. Oliver should be here to receive us. This is his duty.
Oh, the young person he married.
Well, Mrs. Smallwood, your son is in the next room
The next room.
with his wife. They're waiting for me to summon them.
Really, I can't understand this extraordinary behavior.
Well, they've asked me to prepare you for a very great surprise.
I must say this sudden marriage was a bombshell. He's simply thrown himself away.
We understand his wife is nobody and unsightly into the bargain.
Ah, that brings us to the point, Mr. Smallwood. Your daughter-in-law was a plain young woman.
Was?
Your son and Miss Pennington were married. They entered that door, he a shattered, wry-necked, half-crippled fellow, and she a little, meager, wasted thing whose only charm was a gentle manner.
Most unattractive.
When they crossed that threshold, the change began.
Change? What change?
Do you believe in miracles, modern miracles, that may happen to you, to me, today, tomorrow, that may relieve misfortune, retrieve disaster, that may heal the sick, make the lame walk and the blind see?
Well, really,
I do. For I tell you that Oliver and his wife have been touched by a power which is beyond earthly power, and they're wonderfully, gloriously transformed.
Transformed?
Did you say transformed?
Laura is beautiful, with music in every sound she breathes, and my ear tells me grace in every movement of her lovely body. And Oliver walks erect. He's limp. He's gone. I'll bring them in now.
This is my wife, Mother. I hope you and she will be great friends. Stepfather, this is Laura.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's so kind of you both to come to see me.
Mother? I suppose Major Hillgrove's explained the way it all happened.
Happened?
Yes, the change in us. You ever know anything so marvelous? I mean, you can't judge of the change in Laura, of course, but you can see the difference in me.
My dear boy,
Yes. The change is most marked, Oliver. Most marked.
Mark, is that all you've got to say? Well, look at us.
Poor Oliver. Don't you
We're very
see
sorry, Ollie. We had to go away so quickly. We warned you this is only a flying visit.
Mother.
Oh, Major Hillgrove, how could you?
Never mind, Agnes. Goodbye, Oliver. Every happiness, my dear. Come, Agnes.
I'll write you soon, Oliver. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, Major Hillgrove.
Major. Laura. What's the meaning of their behavior? What's the meaning of it?
Oliver, don't.
You are beautiful. You are.
And you, Oliver.
Laura, come here.
Yes, Major.
I want to touch your face. Yes. Yes, I see.
Major Hillgrove. Am I beautiful? Am I?
Well, why don't you answer her?
Oliver, Laura, I'm afraid we've been under an illusion.
Mrs. Manette.
You called me, madam?
No.
Come here, Mrs. Minette.
Yes, sir?
Tell me, you've known Mrs. Bashforth for a long time,
Yes, sir?
and Mr. Bashforth for some months.
Yes, sir?
Then you are thoroughly familiar with their appearance before they were married.
Yes, sir.
When they entered this cottage after their marriage, were they just as you'd always known them?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Their outward appearance, their looks, there's been no change? Answer me, Mrs. Minette.
No. No, sir.
Look at them. Are they still just as you've always known them? Are they?
Yes, sir. I knew you had to find out the truth this afternoon.
I'm sorry, Oliver.
Mrs. Manette.
What is there to be sorry for? Shall I let you into a secret?
Secret?
Oh, yes. Yes.
A man and woman in love have a gift of sight that's not granted to others. Keep your love, and you'll always be beautiful to each other. Scarecrow that I am. If my man could rise out of his grave and walk in this minute, even I would be pretty to him. Even I.
Well, I'd better go home now, I think.
Laura and I will take you, Major. Unless Laura's tired.
I am tired. You'll forgive me, Major Hillgrove.
Forgive you. Forgive me.
Dear friend.
Goodbye.
Till tomorrow. Don't hurry, Oliver. I shan't be lonely.
Come, Major. We'll be expecting you for lunch tomorrow, so don't disappoint us. Thanks.
Oliver.
Yes, Laura? What is it, darling?
You forgot to kiss me.
So I did.
Darling. If there should be a child, there's a chance. A chance that it'll be beautiful, isn't there?
Not a chance. A certainty.
Because of you. Because of you.
If it's a girl, it'll be the most beautiful thing in creation. If it's a boy, the sturdiest kid that ever breathed.
Yes, it will. I know it will.
You're lovely. You're lovely beyond anything I ever imagined.
You're more wonderful than anything I've ever known.
Those silly people. Why can't they see?
We see. We know. That's all that matters. We know.
Thank you, Helen, and thank you, Freddie. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, ready for our weekly question box, in which the stars appearing on the program are asked one question each, and if they fail to answer, they have to pay a forfeit.
Good night, folks. It was nice meeting you all.
Wait a minute, Freddie. Wait for me.
Oh, you too, Helen?
Oh, yes. I just remembered to left some potatoes on the stove.
Oh, now, Helen, you're not afraid of questions.
Oh, yes, Roger, I am. Whenever I hear a lot of questions, I start getting confused.
Well, that's natural enough. I know that often when there's some kind of a discussion, lots of us get confused because we hear so many different statements that it's hard to know what to think. Isn't that right, Harry?
Yes, it certainly is, Roger. And you know, folks, a good many confusing things can be said. In fact, I fear sometimes are said about gasoline. The important thing, however, for you to remember always is to buy the product of a company in which you have the utmost confidence. A company whose avowed policy is to manufacture and sell only the finest products that skill, science, and great resources make possible. And will you remember also that this is the policy of Gulf, that its gasolines, Good Gulf and No Nox, are today greatly improved over what they were even 6 months ago. Just as 6 months ago, they were better products than they were the year before. All this is done as a matter of course, and is the result of forever keeping pace with every known means of product improvement. With Gulf, the policy of constantly improving the quality of its products is a pledge that you motorists will find maintained whenever you stop at the sign of the Gulf orange disc.
Thank you, Harry Von Zell. And now for the question box. The first question goes to Freddie March. Freddie, I'm going to give you the history of a certain star. And whenever you think you know who it is, you say so.
All right.
Now, she was born in London, has appeared in 37 stage productions, introduced the song Limehouse Blues, and has appeared in more Noel Coward shows than any...
Wait a minute. Gertrude Lawrence.
Absolutely right, Freddie. And incidentally, Gertrude Lawrence will appear in the Gulf Theater next Sunday with Herbert Marshall and Johnny Mac Brown. And now here's a question for Helen Hayes. Helen, do you know Bing Crosby?
Oh, yes. Well, that was an easy question. Goodbye.
Wait a minute. That's not the question. What's Bing Crosby's real full name?
Bingham?
No, I'm sorry. He probably wishes it were, but his real name is Harry Lillis Crosby. And Helen,
golly.
for your forfeit, you must read this.
Oh. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes.
That's right, Helen. That's easy. But now read it as Jimmy Durante would read it. Come on.
The quality of mercy is not strained.
Thank you, Helen Hayes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we say goodnight, we'd like to extend you an invitation to tune in next week when we bring you from New York Gertrude Lawrence, Herbert Marshall, Johnny Mac Brown, and, of course, Oscar Bradley and his Gulf Orchestra. Until then, this is Roger Pryor saying goodnight, everybody.
Helen Hayes appears tonight with the courtesy of the makers of Campbell's Soup. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
KNX, Los Angeles, the voice of Hollywood.
The Gulf Screen Guild Theater. The director of the Gulf Theater and your host, Roger Pryor.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Tonight, your neighborhood Good Gulf dealer and the Gulf Oil Companies bring you, from New York, one of the grandest casts it's ever been our pleasure to present. Gertrude Lawrence, Herbert Marshall, John Mack Brown, and, of course, the music of Oscar Bradley and his Gulf Orchestra. Everything's excitement here in the Gulf Theater tonight, for immediately after the show, away we go back to Hollywood in order to bring you such names as Bing Crosby, Norma Shearer, Robert Taylor, and Basil Rathbone. The Gulf Theater, ladies and gentlemen, is the only place where you can meet all your favorite stars, because the Gulf Theater is the stars' own theater. Every cent of the money that would otherwise be paid to them for appearing in the Gulf Theater is used instead to help meet the needs of the Motion Picture Relief Fund and to build a home for the less fortunate members of the industry. And because it is a program with such a swell purpose, stars who ordinarily don't appear on the radio are happy to appear in the Gulf Theater. That's why, for instance, 3 weeks from today, we have the privilege of bringing you one of America's greatest stars, the little girl everyone loves. On December 24th, Christmas Eve, the Gulf Theater will present for her first time on the air, Miss Shirley Temple. Tonight we present Accent on Youth, a play by Samson Raphaelson, whose current hit, Skylark, starring Gertrude Lawrence, is now running on Broadway. And may I present our 3-star cast. The part of Stephen Gay, a successful New York playwright at the dangerous age of 51, is played by Herbert Marshall.
I tell you, I'm worried about this new play of mine. How our audience is going to react to a play in which a 60-year-old actor makes ardent love to a young girl. It's got me worried. I'm afraid it won't work.
Linda Brown, Stephen Gay's 26-year-old secretary, is in love with Stephen, but he doesn't know it. Linda is played by Gertrude Lawrence.
I think it's a beautifully written play. Why shouldn't audiences believe the old man? I think they'll say he's a gloriously courageous character.
Dickie Reynolds, a young actor who's been engaged to play the juvenile lead in Stephen Gay's new play, is portrayed by John Mack Brown.
I like the part. After all, the public accepts me as romantic. That's just the kind of a part this is.
And now in the role of stage manager, I call for lights. Music. The scene is the study of Stephen Gay's apartment overlooking the East River, where we find Stephen excitedly pacing the floor.
It's no use, Linda. I'm not going to let Benham produce the play. I'm going away and forget it. My dear girl, you're discharged. With my compliments, my gratitude, my affection. Now, we'll have to give you a nice present. What would you like most in the world?
Nothing, thank you.
Oh, come, Linda. I'm serious. Would you like a car? A trip to South America? Maybe a trousseau? Haven't you a boyfriend?
No.
Don't be silly. You're a fine-looking girl. You make any man a splendid wife. Tell you what, write yourself a check for 6 months' salary. That's it. You retire, too. Take a trip somewhere. Take your mother along.
I haven't got a mother.
Oh, of course. I forgot. I'm sorry. Well, take a girlfriend along. 2 nice young girls. Honolulu, ukuleles, Yellowstone Park, cowboys and Indians. See America first. Or maybe Havana. It's romantic.
Will you sign this check now, please, Mr. Gay?
Certainly. Say, what is this? $41.65?
Today is the 4th day of the week. My salary is 60. 4 days make 40. And I paid $1.65 for that parcel post package yesterday.
What's the matter, Linda? What have I done?
Nothing's the matter.
You're angry.
No, I'm accurate. You've discharged me, haven't you?
Well,
Yes or no?
Why, yes.
I finished your letters, your notes, your telephone calls. You'll find everything filed away. All your manuscripts in order, all the bills for the month are paid. The pencils are sharpened, the typewriter covered, the desk is shut. My working day is over. You owe me $41.65.
My dear child.
Here's the check. Will you sign it, please?
Well, I suppose if you...
Thank you. Now we're through, aren't we?
It looks that way.
You're no longer my employer.
No.
And I'm no longer your secretary.
Right.
We're 2 human beings together.
Yes, Linda.
A man and a woman.
A man and a woman.
Well, before I say goodbye, I want you to know that I love you.
What?
I want you to know that the 3 years and the 2 months I've spent with you have been the most wonderful, painful, happiest years I've ever had or hope to have.
Linda.
You've hardly known I was on Earth, but you've given me more than you would have given your wife or any other woman or your friends or your audience. I've had you when you were alone. You've spoiled every man I know for me. You did that the first month. I don't think I'll ever forget a single look of your face a single word you said. You've done a terrible thing to me. You've opened my heart and my eyes, and you've never touched me.
Why, you poor child.
It hurt. Every bit of it hurt. You were so beautiful. And if you think I can walk out of this house quietly, that you can smile me away with money and a few new dresses, if you think I can walk out of here without wanting to kill you, without wanting to cut my initials into every day you're going to live, you're crazy. Goodbye, and try to forget me.
Hey, Linda, wait. Let me look at you, you strange creature, you lovely creature. Don't go away. Let me look at you some more. Oh, I'm not patronizing you. I'm seeing you. You're grand. Oh, if I were only 35 or 40 instead of 51. What do you want of me, Linda?
Nothing.
That's not true.
I know it's not true.
What do you want of me, Linda?
I don't know. Everything. Anything.
Sit down. Why, of course, most natural thing in the world. Where do you live, Linda?
West 10th Street.
Apartment?
Yes.
And your parents are dead. You went to college or something, didn't you?
3 years.
Why, certainly. A girl like that, I come into her life and it happens. Suddenly, like a banquet, she gets Broadway, literature, personalities, and me. Linda, I know you won't believe it, but you'll get over this.
Will I?
Yes, you will. You're young and you've made yourself ready. The world is full of fascinating people. Far more fascinating than I am.
You know that isn't so.
Oh, I suppose there's something in what you say. Tell me, am I, physically attractive?
Oh, yes.
It's funny, when you get right down to it, I can't think offhand, you know, of a man who could make you forget me. I'm beginning to see what a spot you're in. I am unique, witty, sensitive, imaginative, worldly, gay, and yet with a feeling for tragedy. And I know myself too well. I mean, I've been around too much to deny that I am charming.
You're wonderful.
I know I am. But, Linda, my sweet, I don't love you. I don't love anybody.
I know that. You don't have to tell me. I know that.
And if I did love you, now, suppose for the sake of argument, I fell in love with you. It would be worse. Picture a man of 51. Why, it's like the situation in my new play. Good Lord, Linda, get your notebook.
What?
Get your notebook.
Yes, sir.
Ready? Oh, Linda, this is marvelous. How can I ever repay you?
Repay me for what?
You realize what you've done for me? Angel, you've saved my play. Get this. It's a cinch, Linda. Oh, why didn't I think of it before? She makes love to him.
Hmm?
Get it? Beautifully simple. She makes love to him. It whitewashes the old boy completely, doesn't it?
Yes, I suppose it does.
God bless you, Linda. Happy?
Why not?
I'm in love with the play all over again, aren't you?
I always was.
Linda, do you know, you're a very beautiful girl.
How did you like the play?
I liked it. Looks like Stephen Gay's done it again.
I've never seen this Linda Brown in a play before. Who is she?
Oh, haven't you heard?
No.
She used to be Stephen Gay's secretary.
I can give you 2 1/9 throw for the Stephen Gay play.
Is it any good?
Good. It's been running for 5 months, and that ain't bad, lady.
I have all the faith in the world in you, Linda. I love you, and I believe you love me. But I know too much about life, about women. You might be an angel straight from heaven, but so long as you're young and I'm old, I tell you there's no substitute for youth. Every night in the play, Dickie Reynolds takes you in his arms. Every night, in words that I wrote, his youth calls to you. Every night. And 2 matinees a week.
Oh, you're jealous.
Dying of it.
Beg pardon, Mr. Gay.
Yes, Flagdon.
Mr. Richard Reynolds to see you, sir.
Do you want to see him or do you want to run along, Linda?
Of course I want to see him.
Sir Reynolds.
Hello, Mr. Gay. Hello, Linda.
How are you?
Hello, Dickie.
Sit down.
Thanks.
Excuse me, Mr. Gay. Mr. Benham on the phone.
I'll take it in the other room. Excuse me, Dickie. Be right back, Linda. Entertain Dickie like a nice girl.
Linda, I've got to talk to you.
Dickie, what's the matter with you?
You. I'm quitting the show on account of you. Don't look at me like that. That's the way you've been looking at me for 6 months, as if I was the wallpaper on the wall.
I'm sorry, Dickie, but...
It drove me crazy. I had to see you. I couldn't stand it any longer.
Dickie, you poor boy. What have I done to you?
Nothing. Oh, I love you so much I can't see straight, that's all. There. Now you know.
Dickie.
Why, where is Dickie, Linda?
Well, he wanted to go, so I didn't stop him.
Benham's booked the show through to the coast next season.
Stephen, will you marry me?
Will you stick to the subject? Did you hear what I said about Benham?
Kiss me, Stephen.
You do love me, don't you?
I'd like to see anyone try to stop me.
You make me very happy.
Will you marry me?
I'm weakening.
Oh, darling. Darling.
What are you crying about?
Let's get married right away.
All right. You know I've always wanted to, don't you?
Have you?
I only hesitated because I wasn't really sure you loved me.
But now you are, aren't you?
Somehow I am. Let's go up to Greenwich tomorrow morning.
Done. It's a date.
So the curtain here in the Gulf Theater falls on the first act of Accent on Youth. We've just about a minute before we go on with our story, and in that minute we've asked Harry Von Zell to help clear up a rather perplexing problem. If you will, Harry?
Yes, thank you, Roger. Well, you know, folks, a good many confusing things can be said. In fact, I fear sometimes are said about gasoline. The important thing, however, for you to remember always is to buy the product of a company in which you have the utmost confidence. A company whose avowed policy is to manufacture and sell only the finest products that skill, science, and great resources make possible. And will you remember also that this is the policy of Gulf? Its gasolines, Good Gulf and No Nox, are today greatly improved over what they were even 6 months ago. Just as 6 months ago, they were better products than they were the year before. All this is done as a matter of course, and is the result of forever keeping pace with every known means of product improvement. With Gulf, the policy of constantly improving the quality of its products is a pledge that you motorists will find maintained whenever you stop at the sign of the Gulf Orange Disc.
Thank you, Harry. And now it's time for the curtain to rise on Act 2 of our play Accent on Youth, starring Gertrude Lawrence, Herbert Marshall, and John Mack Brown. So we call for lights. Music. Curtain. It's the morning of the day Linda and Stephen plan to elope to Greenwich. Dickie Reynolds, obviously upset, has come to call on Stephen Gay.
I happened to be passing, and I thought I'd drop in to see you.
Something special?
Is Linda here, Mr. Gay?
She'll be here soon.
I've got to see her.
You know where she lives?
I tried to see her all afternoon. She wasn't at home to me. I called her 8 times, and she wouldn't talk to me. She's mad at me for quitting the show.
What do you want to see her about?
Oh, good Lord, Mr. Gay. Can't you see I'm in love with the girl?
So that's why you're quitting the show.
Sure. That's why I quit. I couldn't stand holding her in my arms every night, and her acting like I wasn't on Earth. Every time I came near to her to tell her, I couldn't.
But yesterday you could. What did you tell her?
What I'm telling you.
Oh. What did she say?
I didn't wait to find out. I lost my nerve. I bolted.
Why didn't you stay? You fool. She'd have jumped into your arms.
Oh, gee, do you really think so? No, you're wrong. What's the matter with me, Mr. Gay? You know me. You're a man of the world. You've lived. Why, you're old enough to be my father.
What?
Tell me, what's the matter with me?
Nothing's the matter with you. You got everything. Youth and everything. If you want her, go after her.
If it were any other girl, I never had trouble like this before, Mr. Gay.
Well, go on. What do you want?
Let me stay and see her. I'll shoot the works the first chance I get. Every man has a right to one break anyway if he's in love with a woman or a man, and I'm a man. And she doesn't mean anything to you, or does she?
Not the thing.
Then you'll help me?
Help you? I'll give her to you. You want your break? Well, I'll hand it to you on a silver platter. She's due here in a few minutes. I'll be gone, and she'll find you. You should be able to get your message over in an hour and a half, don't you think?
I'll try.
Well, stage is yours.
Mr. Gay, how will I... Well, what'll I say to her?
What'll you say to her? What do you expect me to do? Write your love scene for you, too? Well, Romeo, you're out of luck. Goodbye.
Okay, Mr. Gay.
Look here, what did you say to her yesterday?
Oh, I don't remember.
Well, for instance, did you say those classic words, I love you?
I said, I love you so much I can't see straight.
Not bad.
Oh, honestly?
What did she say?
She said...
Oh, no, never mind. Don't tell me.
Well, do you think if I said the same thing to her?
No, that's only good the first time. Jeez, this thing is getting me. I could write that scene for you so you couldn't miss. If in her heart she really cares about you.
Oh, gee, Mr. Gay, would you?
Nothing like it has ever been done before. Of course, there was Cyrano, but this is different. Let's see now. You're sitting here. She comes in. At first, she doesn't see you. What's the matter with me? Am I going insane? The devil with you.
Oh, Mr. Gay, if you've really got an idea...
Don't interrupt. I'd be the sap of the world to do it. Still, if Sheridan were in a spot like this, or Shakespeare, they'd go through with it. Well, Dickie, you win. Let's shoot the works. We'll all of us shoot the works. Now listen carefully.
I'm sitting here.
Doesn't matter where you sit. When Linda comes in, you tell her that you're sailing for Europe tonight. Tell her you're all packed. You're going because of her, whether she likes it or not. She has changed your whole life. She's made life more beautiful, more exciting, more painful. Be sure you get that in.
More beautiful, more exciting, more painful.
All right. There's nothing as dull as just, I love you. Now, this is a goodbye scene. That's what makes it strong. You're going away forever. You're never going to see her again. All because of her. She's never going to see you again.
Say, that's swell.
Now, carry that goodbye scene right up to the door. She'll come to you. You start out of the door, then you turn, ask her to kiss you goodbye. Do you think you could do that?
I know I can.
All right. The rest is up to you.
Well, suppose she won't kiss me.
She will. It's a goodbye scene. Any woman would. And after that, it's up to the actors, not the playwright. The moment has been created. You'll find out all you need to know. We'll all find out.
Gee, Mr. Gay, you're brilliant.
There she is now. I'll go out the side way and leave the stage to you.
Stephen! Oh, Stephen!
More beautiful, more exciting.
Stephen? Oh, hello, Dickie. Where's Mr. Gay?
Well, he went out. He said...
Well, when will he be back?
Oh, not for an hour and a half.
What are you doing here?
I came... Linda, I've got something to say.
I don't want to hear a word you have to say. I don't want to see you. I don't want to be in the same room with you. Either you go or I go.
I'll go. But before I go, I want to tell you
and
where...
go away as far as you possibly can. Nothing would please me better than to know that you were in China or Africa.
All right.
Or Siberia or Timbuktu.
Shut up.
What?
Now you listen to me.
Let go of my arm. You're hurting me.
I've been wanting to kiss you for months.
Dickie, let me go.
Let
me go, I tell you.
I love you.
What's the matter with you, Dickie? Are you crazy?
I love you.
I hate you. Oh, how I hate you.
Linda. I love you.
Oh, my darling.
My own.
Oh, Dickie, I love you, too.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Gay, but did you read the item that Benham may do a revival of your last play?
Don't believe everything you read, Flogdell. My last play died and was buried 5 months ago. Let it rest in peace.
Time does fly, doesn't it, sir? Do you suppose Miss Linda married Mr. Reynolds?
Stephen, you've got to take me back. That Dickie Reynolds, you don't know what I've been through in the last 5 months.
What do you think I've been through?
No matter what I've done to you, I've paid for it. I led a life of torture. It's become a nightmare. You're the only one who can save me.
Don't you love him anymore?
I can't stand him.
Last May you told me you loved him.
I thought I did. It all happened so quickly. How could I tell? You were so mean about everything. I hated you. I could have loved him. I wanted to. I tried. And then we went out to visit his people in Santa Barbara. His mother insisted on a long engagement. Oh, I never want to go through anything like it again. Stephen, why didn't you tell me what a dreadful thing youth was? Why didn't somebody tell me?
What happened in Santa Barbara?
Well, here's a typical day. Out of bed at 7 a.m., not p.m., 3 hasty kisses, and then we play tennis. What do I know about tennis? Then, sweating and limp, a shower, 2 hasty kisses, and swimming while I sit on the beach and burn.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen, Did you ever see the rich men's sons in their bathing suits waiting for the Depression to pass? They're broad-shouldered, handsome, tan. Every one of them was once an all-American something. And 10 feet away, you can't tell one from the other. And you couldn't tell Dickie from any of them.
No, I suppose you couldn't.
Then he gets a rub down, and it's time for lunch. Oh, Stephen, after sitting with a clean-cut outdoors man and watching him eat vitamins, starches, and spinach, you and your pills are a midsummer night's dream. Then at night, the house is quiet. Suddenly the lights blaze on again, and there are weird thumpings, and the walls shake. Why? It seems that somewhere during the day he's missed out on a couple of muscles.
Only a couple?
Yes. Then we went to Connecticut. Fox hunting, golf, polo. 5 months of it. Stephen, 5 months without nightlife, without the theater, without glasses of beer. 5 months without pounding the table because somebody has got something crazy and beautiful and passionate to say to somebody else. Without smoke and poetry and laughter and bad ventilation. Without dialogue. Without you, Stephen.
Where's Dickie?
I don't care. I love you more than ever. I know I've hurt you, Stephen, frightfully, but I'll make it up to you. It's October the 9th, our anniversary. I had to come back to you. It's been a wonderful and a terrible time for both of us. Now we're ready for each other.
I'm sorry, Linda, but I would like it very much if I never saw you anymore, or heard from you, or anything.
You really mean that?
I do.
Stephen.
Yes?
Stephen, when I came in, I thought I wanted you. And I thought you would have to want me if I wanted you. I thought to myself as I was walking around and around the block, in another 5 years, he'll be almost 60 and interested in bigger things than love. And I'll be 30, which nowadays is very young. And then we'll be really through with each other. And by that time, somebody else will probably fall in love with me, whom I'll be able to endure. Because although I'm not a garbo, people do seem to be falling in love with me recently.
They do?
Yes, there were 2 up in Connecticut. You see, Stephen, I've become quite mature and realistic, don't you think? Not the romantic girl who once thought life was a flame just because you lived and breathed. And to tell the truth, I even thought so when I was walking around the block. But you must agree I'm being very sensible now.
You are, Linda, very sensible.
Goodbye, Stephen.
By the way, what did Dickie say to you when he proposed?
I love you. That's what he said.
Is that all he said?
That's all.
You're sure Dickie didn't say anything else?
Well, he said it more than once. What's the matter?
Oh, good Lord, you mustn't go now, Linda. I need you. I need you and a pencil and a notebook.
But, Stephen...
Oh, you've just given me the most exquisitely lyrical, doggone idea for a play anybody ever had since time began. You ready?
Ready?
Don't just stand there. Clear off your desk. Here it is October, and we've got to open before the holidays.
Did you say we, Stephen?
Call Benham tomorrow and say we'll have a rough draft to show in 2 weeks. That means we'll have to work till all hours. Ready?
Yes, Stephen.
Act 1, Scene 1.
Act 1, Scene 1.
A bedroom. A castle in Spain.
A bedroom, a castle in Spain.
No. A penthouse apartment. New York.
A penthouse apartment, New York.
First speech. Linda, I love you.
Is the heroine's name going to be Linda?
Always. Linda.
Thank you, Gertrude Lawrence, John Mack Brown, and Herbert Marshall. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the stars of our program return to the stage for the Gulf Question Box. Each one must answer some questions about Hollywood personalities. If they fail to give the right answer, they must pay a forfeit. You ready, fellas?
Well, let's see. Could we have about 10 seconds to catch our breath?
Well, surely. I'll ask a warm-up question first. Harry?
Yes?
What's a good antifreeze for your automobile?
Oh, well, now that's easy, Roger. The new Gulf antifreeze. A permanent type antifreeze that saves you money because the first filling lasts all winter long.
That's right, Harry. Now, you ready over there?
Well, we haven't quite pulled ourselves together yet, Roger.
Well, all right. Here's another question. Harry, what does the word Gulflex mean?
Gulflex is a special lubrication service made possible by the new, finer Gulflex lubricants. And it sure is a swell job, too. Ends, annoying squeaks, and rattles like magic. Gives better all-round lubrication and makes your car ride easier and steer easier longer.
Thank you, Harry. Now you ready?
Almost, Roger. You see, it's this way.
Well, now, of course, I may be wrong, but you fellas sound like you're stalling to me. Well, anyway, one more question, and then we're coming ready or not. Harry, when should a motorist change his motor oil?
Right now. Get rid of that dirty, worn-out oil and get the winter-grade Gulf Pride motor oil. Gulf Pride, the only motor oil processed by the Alclor process, gives you extra protection and extra quick starting. You can laugh at winter when you stop at the sign of the Laughing Man at your good Gulf dealers and protect your car with Gulf Anti-Freeze, Gulf Flex Lubrication, and Gulf Pride motor oil.
Thank you, Harry. Okay, fellas? Well, here we go anyway. The first question goes to Herbert Marshall. Bart, what person who is a famous star today appeared only as a member of a trio in The King of Jazz?
Oh, that's a cinch. That's all right. That's my old pal, Bing Crosby, when he was one of the rhythm boys.
That's right. That's right, Bart. It was Bing Crosby. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, Bing will be here in the Gulf Theater next week with Gene Parker, Andy Devine, Raymond Walburn, and Chick Chandler. Now, our next question goes to Oscar Bradley.
Oh, goody.
Oscar, name a motion picture star whose voice has never been heard on the radio.
You mean ever?
Yes, ever.
I pass.
All right, Oscar, I'm sorry. The star is Greta Garbo, and for your forfeit, now let's see. You must tell the funniest story, Oscar, that you have ever heard.
Well, do you know what Noah said when he heard the rain pattering on the roof?
No, Mr. Bradley. What did Noah say when he heard the rain pattering on the roof?
Ark.
Thank you, Oscar Bradley. And the next question is Johnny Mac Brown. Johnny, what famous stage star has never appeared in a moving picture?
Well, let's see, Roger. That's sort of tough.
Oh, that's not tough.
Catherine Cornell?
That's right, Johnny. You fellas are too smart around here tonight. And the next question goes to Gertrude Lawrence.
Here goes Gertrude Lawrence.
No, here's the question, Gertrude. Match the following people with the right hobbies. Jimmy Stewart, Myrna Loy, and Chester Morris. And the hobbies are magician, builds model airplanes, and sculpts.
Jimmy Stewart builds airplanes. Chester Morris is a sculptress.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Myrna Loy builds airplanes.
No,
Myrna Loy's a magician.
That's not quite right, Gertrude. Jimmy Stewart builds model airplanes, but Chester Morris is a magician, and Myrna Loy is a sculptor. That's right. But you must pay a forfeit, Gertrude. Now, this is a very special one. I have in my hand a comb and a common garden variety and a piece of tissue paper. Now, here's the little thing. I'm going to bring it over. Come on now. You must take this comb and this piece of paper, and Oscar has something whipped up very specially. It's the overture to Light Cavalry, and the brass section will be, they will not play, and replacing the brass section is your problem.
Here we go. Can I start it?
Anytime.
It makes me laugh. It tickles.
Thank you, Gertrude Lawrence. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we say goodnight, I'd like to invite you to tune in next week when we bring you from Hollywood Bing Crosby, Gene Parker, Andy Devine, Raymond Walburn, Chick Chandler, Oscar Bradley, and his orchestra. And now, just as a final reminder, the Red Cross, ladies and gentlemen, needs your help this year more than ever before. So join and lend a hand, won't you? This is Roger Pryor saying good night, everybody.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Gulf Screen Guild Theater. The director of the Gulf Theater and your host, Roger Pryor. Good evening, everyone. Your neighborhood good Gulf dealer and the Gulf Oil Companies again welcome you to the Gulf Theater. Got another terrific cast for you tonight.
and a most unusual little epic called Mr. Jinks Goes to Sea, in which Bing Crosby plays the kind of a part he's wanted to play for a long time.
Oh, a sailor's life is the life for me.
Playing Bing's pal is the man with the fallen larynx, that old salt Andy Devine.
Oh, a sailor's life is the life for me.
And the girl is Jean Parker.
Oh, a sailor's life is the life for me.
Now, wait a minute, fellas. Hold it. Not now. There are two more of your screen favorites here, folks, raring to go. Chick Chandler and Raymond Walburn. You know, when Val Burton, the author of tonight's play, showed his story to Bing, Bing immediately wanted to do it. But he particularly wanted to do it here in the Gulf Theater, because the Gulf Theater is the star's own theater. It's the one place where you can meet all your favorite stars, doing the things they like to do. For you see, every cent of the money that would otherwise be paid to the stars who appear in the Gulf Theater is used instead to help meet the needs of the Motion Picture Relief Fund and to build a home for the less fortunate members of the industry.
Well spoken, Roger. Well spoken.
Thank you, Bingo. And here, folks, is a bit of inside dope on the play. In this play, nobody wants to hear Bing sing. Now, I know that sounds pretty wacky, but so is the play.
Not too loud, Roger. Not too loud. You're giving people ideas. Nobody wants to hear me. I got a couple of horses to support, you know.
Well, Bing, we're not talking about Bing the man. Tonight it's Bing Hamlet Crosby, the actor.
Ah, yes. To be or not to be, or does anybody care?
That's right, Bing, and I'm sure somebody does care. And now, if you and your chums are ready...
We are ready and willing, sir.
Well, then we'll call for lights. Music. Curtain. As the scene opens, we find Perry Entwistle and his boyhood chum, Andy Kirby, on their way to join the Navy. They're hitchhiking from Kansas to San Diego, and we pick them up somewhere on the highway.
We're on our way to San Diego to join the Navy, me and you. To join the Navy, me and you. We're on our way to do the Navy. Hooray for the red, white, and blue. Oh, this is the life, Andy. You can't beat this. The wide open highway, healthy, invigorating, carefree, just the two of us. Trotting along nature's bed of concrete.
Oh, let's rest a while, Perry, will you? I feel like I'm walking on my ankles.
Rubbish.
Oh, why did I ever let you talk me into hitchhiking to San Diego to join the Navy? Hey, look, here comes another car over the hill.
Get ready, then. Thumbs, attention. Hey, how about a lift?
Who was that guy, Sir Malcolm Campbell?
What was that?
Sounds like that car got a flat tire.
Well, come on, then. This guy's got to listen to us. He can't move to let tires fix.
Oh, well, couldn't we wait till he's almost through fixing it?
Now, don't be like that. If we help him, he can't refuse us a lift. Well, here's the car. But we seem to be alone.
Oh, that's funny. Somebody must have been driving it.
Well, you look around that side, and I'll look around here, and we'll find... Uh-oh.
Oh, don't you dare touch me.
Hey, it's a girl.
Now, go away, please.
Now, look here, miss.
If you want my money, it's in my bag in the front seat.
My dear girl, we don't want your money.
Yeah, how much have you got?
Quiet, Andy. He's only kidding, miss. We'll fix your tire, and you give us a lift. How about it?
I'm not going your way.
You're not? Well, how do you know?
Well, just mention where you're going, and I'll prove it.
All right. We're going to San Francisco.
There. You see? I'm going to San Diego. Goodbye.
Oh, we couldn't think of letting you go all that way alone. You might get another flat tire. Now, we'll go to San Diego with you. Andy, take off your coat and hat.
Oh, I thought I only had to take off my hat to a lady.
That's etiquettically correct, but your hat comes off for the lady, your coat for the flat tire.
Oh, gee, Perry, I always gotta do the work. Hey, we're almost there.
Where?
Well, here, look at that sign. It says San Diego Business District this way.
Which way? Well, what did the sign say?
Well, it didn't say anything. It just pointed.
Oh. Say, I wonder which way is that recruiting station.
You live in San Diego, don't you, Catherine? Catherine?
Certainly not. Never been here before.
You don't live in San Diego?
Well, then what are you doing here now? Aren't you going to join the Navy, too?
Andy. Tell him again, Catherine.
Well, I'm going to be a teacher in the Francis School of Floating.
Float?
Yes, Miss Parkinson's floating seminary.
Oh, sort of an aquatic boudoir.
It sounds like a good idea.
Yes, the girls learn their lessons while seeing the world.
I'll bet they had a tough time getting the crew for that ship.
Very funny.
Hey, look, we're really downtown now, Perry. Turn on the radio and see if they're going to give us a civic walk.
Okay.
Oh, I love that song. Do you know the words, Perry?
I think so. Are you having any laughs? Are you getting any lovin'? What good is what you've got if you're not having any fun? After the honey's in the comb, little bees go out and play. Even the old gray mare down home has got to have hay. Hey, you better have fun. You ain't gonna live forever. Before you're old and gray, still okay. Have your little fun, son. Have your little fun.
Gee, that was swell, Perry.
Hey, look, there's a recruiting station.
Where?
Right here, can't you see? Stop the car. Come on, Perry.
Well, okay, I'll meet you in this corner at 6 o'clock, Catherine.
I'll be here at 6 o'clock sharp, sailor.
Sailor? What do you mean, sailor? By the time I come out of that door again, I ought to be at least a lieutenant. Gee, that's going to sound pretty nice. Admiral Perry Entwistle.
Entwistle, Kirby, here are your papers.
Well, we're in the Navy now.
Oh, good morning, sir.
Morning. Well, you don't have to salute me yet.
It's not for you, dope. Turn around and salute. There's a rear admiral coming in the door.
Up. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, son. Well, joining the Navy, eh?
That's right. Yes.
Good. Oh, that's the spirit. You know, it's men like you that make the Navy what it is. What's your name, sailor?
Entwistle, sir.
Entwistle. Did you say Entwistle?
Sir, yes, sir.
Not the son of Jonathan Entwistle?
The very same. Did you know him, sir?
Did I know him? Who didn't know Jonathan Entwistle? The Jinks of the Navy.
The Jinks?
Why, that Jinks has followed your family for generations.
Wait a minute here. Sir, let me get this straight. What's this Jinx stuff?
Why, I shudder at the thought of it. Every time an Entwistle sings, a calamity occurs immediately.
Oh, you're nuts.
What?
Pardon me, you're nuts, sir. Why, I've been singing for years. Nothing ever happened.
No, that's just it. The Jinx only works if you're in the Navy. It can be traced back to Zechariah Entwistle.
My great-grandfather.
Yes, sir. It first happened in 1861 aboard the USS Defiance.
What happened?
Well, according to records, the ship was riding calm when suddenly a mainsail crumbled in a heap. 4 men were tossed overboard and the beams buckled up. They couldn't figure out how that could happen till they looked up on the poop deck.
And
there was your grandfather, Zechariah, standing on the poop deck singing, "Drink to me only with thine eyes."
Well, I don't know about the ship, but if he had a voice like that, those 4 guys weren't thrown overboard. They'd jump.
That's a good one. I'm sorry you can't join the Navy, son, but it's all for the best.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I've already got my papers.
What? Then I demand that you resign.
You better do as he says, Terry.
No, not a chance. I don't believe in that Jinx stuff.
Now, let's get at this another way, my boy. You're not very rich, are you? Well, how much will you take to be bought out?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You can't buy me a house.
Let him make me an offer.
Oh, be quiet, will you? Be quiet. Now, for the last time, Entwistle, I demand that you leave the Navy.
And I refuse.
Oh, good gracious, gee whiz and gadzooks, Entwistle. I never did anything to you. Now, please get out of the Navy, won't you, Entwistle? Oh, please get out.
So that's the story of the Jinx. At least that's the way I get it from the Admiral.
Well, it's a pretty corny story, Mr. Jinks.
Well, I don't believe it either. So let's forget it, huh? Much more important that you're sailing tomorrow on Mrs. France or whatever her name is, floating thing.
That's right.
Who turned the radio back on?
I did. I'm a pushover for music.
Oh, sing that, will you, Perry? It's sort of a goodbye.
South of the border, I rode back one day. There in a veil of white, by candlelight, she knelt to pray. The mission bells told me that I mustn't stay south of the border, down Mexico way. Ay, 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 ay,
Harry, that was beautiful. I've never heard such a...
Well, there, you see, that proves it.
Proves what?
That Jinks junk. I sang, didn't I? And I finished, didn't I? Nothing happened, did it? Here we are, driving along just as peaceful. Ay, 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 ay.
Ay, 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 ay. 129 million people in this country, and I had to pick up a hitchhiker with a jinx.
As the curtain falls on Act One of our little masterpiece here in the Gulf Theater, a young man steps from the wings for this reason. Many of you listeners have asked us to repeat the following simple statement made here in the Gulf Theater last week.
Well, you know, folks, a good many confusing things can be said. In fact, I fear sometimes are said about gasoline. But the important thing, however, for you to remember always is to buy the product of a company in which you have the utmost confidence. A company whose avowed policy is to manufacture and sell only the finest products that skill, science, and great resources make possible. Now, this is the policy of Gulf. Gulf's gasolines, Good Gulf and No Nox, are today greatly improved over what they were even 6 months ago, just as 6 months ago they were better products than they were the year before. All this is done as a matter of course, and is the result of forever keeping pace with every known means of product improvement. With Gulf, the policy of constantly improving the quality of its products is a pledge that you motorists will find maintained whenever you stop at the sign of the Gulf Orange Disc.
Thank you, Johnny. And now the curtain's about to rise on Act Two of our play, Mr. Jinks Goes to Sea, starring Bing Crosby, Gene Parker, Andy Devine, Chick Chandler, and Raymond Walburn. So it's time for lights, music, curtain. As the scene opens, we find the sailors happily scrubbing the decks of the battleship.
Scrub the deck, scrub the deck, scrub the deck, merrily we scrub the deck.
Quiet! 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 How many times must I tell you I don't want any singing on this ship from anyone? The war games are coming up soon, and we're stuck in here in the harbor repairing broken anchor chains, among other things. And Whistle.
Yes, sir?
I hold you responsible for everything that's happened. You sang yesterday, and it snapped the anchor chain.
I apologize, sir.
Apology be hanged, I can forgive that. But I can't forgive your singing when I was conducting ship's inspection this morning.
Well, I beg your pardon, sir, but you see, there was a whole situation.
There can be no other reason for my suspenders letting go at that particular time.
I'm sorry, sir, but I don't like this Jinx any more than you do, but how am I going to break it?
Don't ask me. I'm an admiral, not a fortune teller.
Well, now, you may have something there.
All right, my son. Zodi the Great shall solve your problems for you. Would you like a 50-cent reading or a dollar one?
I'll take the 50-cent special with choice of 2 questions.
Very good, my boy. I really don't like to talk money. It's immaterial and unimportant.
Yes.
Pay in advance, please.
Here you are.
Thank you, my boy. Now, let's see. What date were you born on?
January the 20th.
January 20th. We filled out Capricorn, Zodiac, Cusp in the Ascending, Ligarodi in the 7th. 1, 2, conjunction. My, you've got a terrible jinx. Must have been in your family for years, and there's only one way to break it.
There is a way? Well, what is it? Come on, man, let's have it.
Well, you were born when Capricorn was on the cusp of Aquarius, and the jinx will continue until someone of the opposite sex...
You mean a girl?
Yes, generally speaking.
Until this person who was born with the sign of Figaro in Libra, September 22nd to be exact, tells you that she loves you.
Oh, that's fine. That's a big help. I only know one girl, and she's in the middle of the ocean someplace teaching school on a floating seminary.
Well, the swimming's very good at this time of the year.
I wish you four guys had quit following me around.
Oh, we can't help it.
Tell me, boys. Come on, tell me. What's the attraction? Is it my oomph?
It's the Admiral's orders. We got to see that you don't sing until these war games are over. I got all my dough on those maneuvers, and if we lose on account of you, Perry, I'll personally punch you in the nose. And if we win, well, I think you're a heel on general principles.
Say that again, and I'll sing at you.
You're asking for it, sailor.
Oh, am I? Come and punch me in the nose. I'm waiting to...
Get him up quick before something happens.
What was that?
Sounds like something hit us.
Hey, there's the emergency siren.
Emergency crew, stand by.
All right, men. Everybody to your stations.
Hey, what happened?
Didn't you feel it? We were rammed by some screwball boat. Madam something or other's floating seminary.
Yahoo! Girls.
Did you get an answer to my radiogram yet?
What radiogram, sir?
What radiogram? That one, lying right in front of your nose. Ram ship. Rescued 50 young girls. Request permission to change course and drop them at Honolulu.
Well, I sent it, sir, but no answer yet.
They let me do what I know they will.
Oh, here comes your answer now, sir. Sorry, can't spare your ship from maneuvers. Keep girls on board until after war games. It's signed by the Admiral, sir.
Oh, dear. What was that?
Oh, well, that was just from the wireless operator, sir.
What did he say?
Well, it was personal, sir. Nothing at all, really.
What did he say?
He said, woo-woo, sir.
Oh, Captain.
I don't want to talk about him, Andy.
Oh, but Perry feels awful about the way you're ignoring him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, he's saving all his money to pay you back for your automobile.
Really?
Yeah, he's got $4.25 saved up already. And you know what's more, Catherine?
No. What?
Well, he made a bet with the other side. I mean, the sailors who are playing our enemies in these war games.
A bet?
Yeah, and you know how much Perry wants to stay in the service. Well, he bet the other side $500 against his leaving the Navy that we'd win.
And he didn't. Where is he?
And, well, right over there at his battle station in gun turret number 1.
Oh, gee, thanks. I'll see you later.
Is there any way they can ventilate these gun turrets? It sure gets hot.
Oh, boy, I'm glad this is the last day of the maneuvers.
Yeah, I wonder when we'll sight that target they're going to shoot this thing at.
Oh, probably an hour or so. It's being towed by the SS Ticonderoga. Boy, I certainly got a lot of responsibility on my shoulders.
Get him responsibility. Somebody else fire and you push a button.
Yeah, but what would happen if he said fire and I didn't push yon button?
Hello.
Gee, girl. Hey, what are you doing up here?
Oh, hello, Perry.
Hello, Catherine. I didn't expect to...
I know. What did they put you up here for?
Well, I'm just getting ready to wash up these war games. They'll probably give me a promotion for my work today. A medal, too.
Oh, and a medal, too.
Yep. I'll send it to you for your birthday. Your birthday? Say, when's your birthday? What day were you born on?
September 22nd. Why?
Why? September 22nd? Yoo-hoo!
I don't quite follow. What's all this about?
What's it about? Don't you see? You were born on September the 22nd. The jinx is broken.
Broken?
Right. Now I can sing. I love life.
Hey, get that
and
gun.
I
Look out,
want to
miss.
live.
That shell's going to fall off the rack.
Catherine, look down. Catherine, are you hurt?
Just a minute. No. Don't you get a little tired of singing and then asking me if I'm hurt?
Darling, it was all my fault.
How big of you to admit it.
Well, I forgot. You have to tell me, you see, that you love me.
Oh, I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, perhaps this will give you some slight indication of how I feel in the matter. I'm going to ring for the Admiral.
Don't touch that button, Catherine. It fires the gun.
How in tarnation did that gun go off by itself? Find out whose fault it is and put that whistle in the brig.
That'll hold you until the court-martial.
He's not going to be court-martialed.
You said it, sister.
That's okay. Forget it.
No, Perry. It's all my fault. I acted like a little fool. You're in so much trouble. I love you so.
What?
I love you. I do, Perry. Really, I do.
Kitty, that's the sweetest song cue I ever heard. I can sing again now.
You can?
Well, I'm sure as heck going to give it a quick whirl. What's your favorite song?
Make with the kisses.
Well, man the listening tubes and stand by to blow up your water wings, honey. Because here goes. Make with the kisses. Make with the sighs. Make with the baby talk. Give with the eyes. Here I am making with the I'll be true. And everyone's making love to someone. What goes with you? Make with the kisses. Why don't you make with the thrills? Make with the snuggle up that brings those chills. The sky is making with the moon above. It couldn't be brighter. Hold me tighter. Make with the love. Oh, make with the kisses. Why don't you make with the thrills? Make with the snuggle up that brings those chills. The sky is making with the moon above, and it couldn't be brighter. Hold me tighter. Make with the love. Well?
I say I still don't hear anything or feel anything.
Harry! Hey, guess what just happened?
Uh-oh. Trouble.
Hey, listen to this wire we got from the USS Ticonderoga. Your shell scored direct hit in our target. This wins the war games for you. Congratulations. But how in thunder did you know where we were?
Hooray! Now I know the jinx is broken. Let me out of this brig. Come on, let me out of here.
What's all this ringing about?
Oh, Admiral, it's Perry. He broke his jinx. You can let him out now.
Don't give me orders, young lady. Entwistle stays in the brig until I'm ready to let him out.
Oh, Admiral, you're a meanie. After I went to all the trouble of cleaning your room this morning. I even gathered your things and put them down the laundry chute.
Laundry chute? That was a porthole. I've had 4 sailors out in rowboats all morning gathering up my clothes. Kirby, put this girl in the brig.
Oh, you'll have to get in, Catherine. It's the Admiral's orders.
And make sure you lock the door.
Oh, Perry, darling.
Gee, now you're both in the brig. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah, you can throw away the key.
Well, throw away the key.
Thank you, Bing, Jean, Andy, Ray, and Chick for a swell performance. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, our stars step before the curtain, ready to indulge in the give and take of the Gulf question box.
Pardon me a second, Roger, but may I say a word to Mr. Crosby?
Well, I don't see why not, John.
Well, do. Let's cut up some touches, friend.
Oh, thanks. Mr. Crosby, as one singer to another,
Thank you, John.
Yeah. Thank you. I'd like to felicitate you on your colorful vocal maneuvering.
Well, 'tis indeed grateful I am, sir, for your warm-hearted speechifying, but I didn't know you all was a singer, sir.
Well, just round the edges, Mr. Cross.
Well, would give us a quick whirl?
Good. Downbeat, Oscar, please.
Downbeat him.
When skies are cloudy and gray, they're only gray for a day. So wrap your troubles in dreams and laugh your troubles away.
I didn't let you sing ahead of me.
Until that...
Pardon me for protruding there, friend, but
Yes?
the last line is dream your troubles away.
Well, maybe so, Mr. Crosby, but I like the phrase, laugh your troubles away. You see, just those words give you a carefree, happy feeling. The kind of feeling you'll have if you stop tomorrow at your Good Gulf dealers. Because, ladies and gentlemen, your Good Gulf dealer is all set to help you laugh at winter. First, he protects the radiator of your car with the new permanent Gulf antifreeze. One filling lasts all winter long. And then he protects the chassis with Gulf Flex lubrication service. New Gulflex lubricants, designed specially for modern motoring, make your car ride easier and steer easier longer. And finally, your good Gulf dealer will drain your old oil and put in fresh, quick-starting Gulf Pride motor oil. During winter especially, you need extra protection for your engine, and that's just what you get from that famous Gulf Pride motor oil. Yes, you'll guard against winter troubles and winter repair bills if you stop at the sign of the Happy Laughing Man at your neighborhood Good Gulf dealer.
Thank you, Johnny. And now the first question goes to Andy Devine, who just completed A Man from Montreal for Universal.
Well, shoot, Roger. I got my thinking cap on.
Oh, you have, Andy. Well, I think you're going to need it because your first question is this. Who was the first person to sign a movie contract?
Who was the first person?
First one.
No, that's... James J. Corbett, correct?
That sounds wrong, I know, Andy, but as a matter of fact, it's absolutely correct.
Well, I read my movie magazine.
Good for you, Andy. And the next question goes to Gene Parker. Ready, Gene?
Frankly, I'm ready.
Frankly, you're ready, huh? Well, tell me. You used to play piano in the theater during silent pictures.
Frankly, I don't know.
Well, the answer is frankly Norma Shearer. Incidentally, Norma Shearer will be here in the Gulf Theater next week with Basil Rathbone, Louis Hayworth, Halliwell Hobbs, and the play Smiling Through. Now, you come back here now. You can't go away because you got to pay a forfeit. Tell me, Gene, can you play a cornet?
A cornet?
Yeah. Did you ever try?
No.
Well, you're going to learn one now. Here's one right here, and you have to get something out of it. There it is. It's almost as big as you are. Well, that's apparently not the way. What's for? Oh, gee, Pucker. Pucker.
I could do better, but me chops is beat.
Thank you, Gene Parker. And then the next question goes to Ray Walburn. Ray, come over here, young fellow. Tell me, what's the family name of the Lane sisters?
The Lane sisters?
Uh-huh.
Let me see. I thought you had me there, didn't you?
Well, up to now, I still think I've got you.
Let me see. Mulligan.
Mulligan is absolutely right, Ray. You're too smart.
Yes, it's a nice dish, too. Every one of them, yeah.
And the next question goes to Bing Crosby, who is now working in Paramount's Road to Singapore. Bing, come on over here, young fella. You ready?
What's my forfeit?
Well, what's your forfeit? Oh, now, wait a minute. You've got to answer a question first.
Oh, I got to do it the hard way with 2 sixes, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so. Tell me, what do the following 4 pictures have in common, Bing? Ben-Hur, The Covered Wagon, Broadway Bill, and Kentucky. Now, if you like, I'll repeat that again.
Oh, never mind. I don't know.
Why, Bing, it's horses. You know all about horses.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
Well, Bing, let's see. I've got a forfeit for you. Let
What do
me
I have
see.
to do?
Well, I'll tell you what you have to do. You have to give an imitation of the great operatic star, Martinelli, giving an imitation of Bing Crosby.
All right. Well, give me a little chord here.
Chord, Oscar.
It's the Jim Jam Jump with a jumping jive. You think you're 9 foot tall when you're 4 foot 5.
Hep, hep. Ladies and gentlemen, before we say goodnight, I'd like to invite you to tune in next week when we bring you Norma Shearer, Basil Rathbone, Louis Hayworth, Halliwell Hobbs, and, of course, the music of Oscar Bradley and his Gulf Orchestra. Until then, this is Roger Pryor saying good night, everybody.
This is John Conte saying good night for your neighborhood Good Gulf dealer.
Bing's arrangements were by John Scott Trotter. Are you having any fun? Was from George White's Kansas. The Gulf Screen Guild Theater originates in Earl Carroll's Columbia Square, Hollywood. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.